Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedics, go to Brock. If you need a roof, you call Parish, Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and On Fire Athletes, platform powered by Gamecoin. Okay, y'all, good morning. Hope your Tuesday is off to a rip-roaring start. A cold one here in Louisiana. I'm sure for many of you as well. But the weather might be cold. But the Tigers stay hot in the transfer portal. After LSU landed Donovan Green this weekend, finally, at long last, LSU did get their safety transfer. They had thrown their hat in the ring for quite a few guys. In the safety market and kept coming up empty. But Tamarcus Cooley picked the Tigers, and this was in a Ole Miss, LSU, Kentucky battle. So a lot to like about this. We've talked about Cooley here ever since he took his visit, really before he took his visit. Guy from NC State who freshman season played at Maryland, redshirted, went to NC State after 1 year at Maryland. Was at NC State this year. So this will be his third school in as many years. But played in 12 games this year, played over 700 snaps, played slot corner, played free safety, played box safety. Really versatile guy who is LSU sees him as a safety. They're very clear about that. But you had to get a safety in this class, and you got it. You got an elite one that a lot of people wanted. So it puts LSU at 16 for this class, and it may not be done. Again, we've talked about it, but offensive line and safety are possibilities from guys in the playoff. But one thing I'll tell you that I do wonder about now. So those players, whoever they were, right, that LSU might have been targeting, do you look now and you go to like the offensive lineman, you're like, well, LSU had a Josh Thompson, and now they had a safety, added Marcus Cooley. Like, the path to the field isn't as clear anymore. So you wonder if that upsets the apple cart a bit. But same time, man, it's a bird in hand type thing. You're LSU, you couldn't run the risk of not getting help at those positions. And so you got help, and you got really good players. So Tigers are at 16 now, the number one portal class in the country. And we'll see what else they might do. They are, as I understand it, Cooley puts them at 86 scholarship players. And if they're going to go add a couple more, that puts you over the number. But remember, you don't have to be within compliance of the 85 number until August. So you can add other players, and you're very likely going to lose guys after spring. That happens every year too. And if you need to cut, you hate to say it that way, but you do. But they'll make it work. But I believe they're at 86 now with the addition of Cooley. All right, y'all, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being there with us. Hunt just posted in our LouisianaSports.net chat. Michael Van Buren profile is up. So Hunt's doing a series every day at LouisianaSports.net. We're doing a full profile of every transfer portal edition. So if you haven't seen those yet, would highly recommend you go check them out. Really good way to kind of get to know the new LSU Tigers. All right. Let's see. We'll say some good mornings here. Also, Damian Ramos announced on Monday he is returning for a fifth season. So LSU will have their place kicker back. I don't think that's a huge surprise. I'm not sure anyone was anticipating Ramos leaving, but so you'll have Ramos back for another year, and you'll have Aaron Burrell back as your kickoff specialist. And you added Grant Chadwick out of the portal, the punter from Middle Tennessee. So you do have to replace your long snapper now. Slade Roy is out of eligibility, so we'll see who that is for next year. But Tigers, good, man. Okay, let's say some good mornings here. Hey, Brian, good morning. Trivia, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Devin, Leon, Chris, good morning, y'all. Portal work by the Tigers has been amazing. 25 looks great. P.S. Keep Mike McCarthy away from the Saints. It is interesting. Whenever I saw that news, so apparently McCarthy won't be back in Dallas. Saints and Bears reportedly interested. Listen, Loomis was with the Saints whenever McCarthy was the OC here. And a lot of people may not remember that, but McCarthy was the OC from 2000 to 2004 during the Jim Hazelade days. Now, there was also in 2000 was the first playoff win in franchise history. So there were some good vibes back there. That was, Akeem drops the ball. So, McCarthy left and became the head coach of the Packers. And that was the year when Peyton came to New Orleans in 2006. Hang on. Because McCarthy would have done, where did he go in 2005? Because I think he got the Packers job in 2006 the same year as Peyton. He did. Okay, so he went to the Niners for 1 year. Okay. So McCarthy was the OC of the Saints from 2000 to 2004, then 1 year OC of the Niners, and then head coach with the Packers from 2006 to 2018. Long stint there in Green Bay. It's interesting. You have a coach that's won a Super Bowl there with McCarthy, that's won a Super Bowl, has been a head coach for 20 years in the NFL and nearly 20 years in the NFL. And we're like, duh. And I don't blame you. I mean, I don't really know, what to think of that. Because you have a very accomplished coach. But I think it's also fair to look at all the years with Aaron Rodgers and the postseason disappointments. And the same in Dallas. I mean, went to the playoffs 3 times in 5 years. They won 12 games 3 times, won a bunch of games. But they struggled in the postseason. So, Brad, good morning. How many times per year is Loomis required to speak with the media? It feels like he rarely does interviews. Yeah, I don't know how many times he's required to do so. I know he does so post, like the pre-draft, post-draft, at the owners' meetings, and that's when every coach and GM speaks at the owners' meetings, and then the season wrap-up. Is usually when we see him. And then, by the way, he also does. I mean, there's the Saints. The weekly coaches show where I believe Mickey speaks. I don't know if he speaks weekly on that or if it's just every now and again. Hey, Sean, good morning. Why is it hard for Gail Benson to see how bad Loomis is? Everyone can see it. The only thing I can think is that internally they see things differently. Either that or he's got like a spell on her. Hey, Barry, good morning. Jacob, how do you think this year's women's basketball team compares championship team from 2 years ago? Yeah, good question. I mean, the obvious differences are, you don't have Angel Reese, but man, Anissa Morrow is a double-double machine. She's kind of replaced Angel Reese in that role. And then really the big difference is Alexis Morris was not only a great point guard, she was also a great leader, kind of the heartbeat of the team. Flaugier is more your leader this year, and she's a 2-guard. But, last year you didn't have a point guard. And, Haley Van Lith, who's a 2-guard, was very selfless and played the point because LSU needed someone to handle the ball. And, remains to be seen if you have that player that can run your offense and control the basketball in the postseason. Brunel, good morning. Matt and the Rolling Sconers. Do we really have a chance to get Kingsbury? Yeah, you're going to interview him. If you're going to interview him, of course you do. Loomis said it yesterday, and while I rolled my eyes at it because of the context of which he said it, the truth is there's only 32 NFL head coaching jobs. So Loomis said that yesterday. He was asked, why is your job desirable? He's like, well, there's only 32 of these. So basically your job is desirable because it's a job. But anyway, if they decide they want Kingsbury, they could offer him the job, and I'm sure he'd take it. Brad, good morning. If a transfer comes in this late, do they have to wait to enroll in the summer? Not really sure when the semester starts. Yeah, good question. So the semester, the deadline to enroll is the 23rd. So the semester started yesterday, but the deadline to enroll is the 23rd. So it's not too late. Hey, Derek, good morning. Was he the silent safety commit? No, it was not. What I was told was that it was a player in the playoffs, and NC State was not in the playoffs. Christian, good morning. Didn't get to hop in yesterday, but hope you and the missus had a great anniversary. Thank you. We did. We obviously both had to work, so we celebrated on Saturday, but brought dinner home, and and I sent Erica flowers to work, and so yeah, had a very nice anniversary. Thank you. Patrick Gamoggan, glad we addressed safety in the portal. Not optimistic about our chances in men's basketball against Arkansas. Boot up and suit up. Hang on one second. It is 7:31. So one quick second. Here you go, Thomas. I'll be right back.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Right. I know it was a little later today. I had to go plug in my my head shaver. Shave my neck beard, my head's clean that up a little bit. So I had to go plug it in. All right. Let's get back to where we are. Okay. It was asking about Arkansas. Yeah, LSU plays Arkansas basketball. Arkansas is 0-3 in the league as well. The line is 1.5. I think Arkansas 1.5. ESPN's analytics actually has LSU favored in the game. So it's an Arkansas team that's got a famous coach, but they're not very good. So maybe one you can go get. Vernell, love the work Kelly's done so far. It will be undeniably, not even close, his best roster. With absolute total respect to Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas. They were an incredible triumvirate offensively a year ago. And that offense was special a year ago. But I'm talking 1 to 85, both sides of the ball, everything. This will be your best roster. Jaden, like, not saying it'll be Jaden. And I don't know that you're going to have Malik and Brian Thomas, but you're going to have plenty of depth at receiver and really talented guys too. Patrick Bailey, Mickey's what the kids call Delulu. Delulu. Do the kids do that? Alex, good morning. Hunter, good morning. Pat, good morning. Fire Loomis in 25. Bubba, good morning. Thomas, Sean, update on Enola Station. No, unfortunately, not yet. I think I'd mentioned, we had a meeting a couple of weeks ago with a potential affiliate. They rejected the terms. Had a follow-up with them last Friday, seeing where that may go and kind of engaging in new potential partners. So it's not, people are like, oh, why don't you own it? It's like, it's not as easy. Like, someone who owns a radio station has to agree to put you on air. That's not an easy thing to do. So, a lot of times those discussions and negotiations last a long, long time. Sometimes it's easy. This isn't. Tyga Poppy, good morning. Wendell Norman, Jason H, Guy Morgan, Austin Kidder, good morning. Robbie, do you think Deion would be a good fit in Dallas? So here's the thing about Deion. Yeah, I think Deion could coach the NFL. Absolutely, I do. But he says he only will go to the NFL if he could coach his sons, plural. Well, I don't know how Deion can manipulate the draft to get Shadur. And Dallas sunk a ton of money into Dak. Now, maybe they could trade Dak, but is someone going to trade for Dak's contract? I don't know. But even if they trade Dak, are they guaranteed that they can get Shadur? So That's a lot of moving pieces there, man. So I don't think that happens. I have no doubt that Jerry Jones might be interested in Deion, but would. By the way, I saw this too. It's crazy to me how many people like crap on Deion. I saw this yesterday where Deion like has a new rule for his players, like no slides, which are the slide on sandals. Shirt has to be tucked in. I'm looking for it. And if seniors stop going to class or have a D or an F, they're getting their they'll lose part of their checks. No slides, no tank tops. Sit in the front of the classroom, and if seniors stop attending class or earn failing grades, they risk losing part of their scholarship checks. I mean, why don't people? I don't understand why people criticize that guy. He's everything you want. Discipline, bringing up respectful dudes in a portal era, saying, I don't care how much money, because he's Deion Sanders. He can do it. He goes, I got more money than all y'all. I got more money. I got more fame. He can do it, and they'll listen to him, you know? I think he's awesome. Miracle, good morning. Hope you and the family are great. How about the Lady Basketball Tigers? Yeah, man, another win last night against Vanderbilt. Close one. 83-77. Got it done. Trucking along, 19-0. Be Creole at work trying to listen. Thank you, man. JC, good morning. Thank you for the shout-out Fridays AFR. Wanted to show some appreciation for your tireless work, information you give us. Thank you for the new roof on my home. There you go, man. Jason, some people asked, and thank you very much. So Jason sent me to Guarantee a beautiful box of pralines, and they were delicious. So Terrio and I sampled them and talked about them on air on Fridays AFR. If you want that clip, man, feel free. And Jason, if you want to share the link, if you have a link to order online, because some people did ask me. I was looking on the box. I didn't see online like where, if people could order online. But anyway, if you want to drop that in the chat, please feel free. Rooney, good morning. Here in Sark, interested in the Cowboys job. I mean, listen, here's the thing, Rooney. Like the internet says what the internet wants. I mean, everybody's seen that at this point. But at the same time, is Sark interested, or is it that the Cowboys would like to talk to him? I mean, there was a report yesterday that the Bears are interested in talking to Marcus Freeman. Okay, well, there could always be interest in actually having an interview and getting a deal done are all very, very different conversations. But there's a point about Sark. I can't remember. I would like to see Sark leave. I think upheaval and turnover at Texas would be a good thing because I just look at it through LSU's prism. I just want LSU to do well. And Texas is doing well, and I would love to see him leave. What am I looking for here? Here we go. By the way, y'all, a few days left to vote for the Best of Baton Rouge from The Advocate. Would love it. Greatly, greatly appreciate it if you would vote for Parish Construction and Roofing. If you go to the Home and Garden section, then Roofing Company. There's a bunch of them listed, but you'll find Parish Construction and Roofing. Would really appreciate it if you'd give us a vote. Parish Construction and Roofing. We would love, to win it. That would be great notoriety for us. It's still a young company. So would love to win that. If you could help us, I greatly appreciate it. I just dropped the link in the comments. It's free to vote. You don't have to live in Baton Rouge, but you click the link, you hit Home and Garden Roofing Company, and then select Parish Construction and Roofing. Would greatly appreciate it. Devin, don't really want McCarthy, need fresh blood. Mr. Wallace, if BK has another season similar to 24, is he gone? You know, Mr. Wallace, if they go 8-4, then the pressure really ratchets up. But at the same time, he'd still have I'm ballparking here, somewhere around a $50 million buyout. So LSU's not going to buy out a $50 million contract. They're not. So probably not. I mean, it's the thing I said from the day that he was hired. For better or worse, LSU and Brian Kelly are financially bound to one another for a decade. So you better figure it out. And I think what they're showing in this offseason is they're figuring out the roster. Ethan, does Mickey Loomis not care anymore? In his interview yesterday, it didn't seem like he cared and knows he's not on the hot seat. I don't know that I would say he didn't care, but I do think there is a certain feeling of invincibility, that he's Teflon, that he can't be touched. And when you have that and you don't have any, I don't think people should go to work for fear of losing their jobs, but I do feel like you should have that everyone at work should have a level of accountability. And it feels like there is no accountability for Mickey. No matter how bad the Saints may do, it's never gonna fall back on him. Gary, good morning. Dennis is a great football coach is a wild thing to say. Yeah. I did a fun bit yesterday where we played snippets of a bunch of the ridiculous things Mickey Loomis said on his show in his press conference yesterday. It was in the third hour of the show. I think it was right at 5:00 if you want to check it out. Joey B, is there still a silent commit out there? Yeah, but again, so too, offensive line and safety. But again, and again, it's probably my fault for saying that. What I should have said is they plan to pursue guys in the portal, but from playoff teams. But that's not true. What I was told, and I've been right about everything NIL we've talked about so far. So I believe my information's good. That they have a silent commit from an offensive tackle and a safety that are playing on playoff teams. And from the beginning of the playoffs, I've been telling you this. But remember, like, guys aren't going into the portal until their season ends. So is it possible that we're talking about guys from Notre Dame or Ohio State? Sure. So, I mean, they're the two teams left. So if it happens, it'll happen next week. But that remains to be seen. Like, and I feel like no matter how many times I say this part's going to be ignored. But it's important to remember, like, it's always possible that the player never enters the portal. It's possible that another school gets involved and outbids you, or the player enters the portal, or there's a buzz that he's going to enter the portal, and so the current team keeps him. Or there's a bajillion scenarios that could unfold, which is why it was so important for LSU to go address those needs when guys enter the portal, like Josh Thompson from Northwestern or Tamarcus Cooley from NC State. So you're not waiting and hoping that those do happen. I mean, that's how LSU got left holding the bag last year. They missed the first portal window at defensive tackle. They had to get defensive tackle in the second portal window, and they missed on Barrow and Dominic Williams. They ended up getting JVR Suggs from Grand Valley. Like, you didn't address your need. So they had bird in hand and they took it. Rocky, Chance, Thomas, good morning. Wayne, happy anniversary. Thank you, Wayne. Hey, Fred, good morning. Brandon, when does LSU start looking for a new men's basketball coach? Yeah, they're not. Honestly, Brandon, I think Matt McMahon is a very good basketball coach. But if you can't see that talent-wise they can't compete, then you just haven't been watching. Like, the SEC is very good. LSU is a better team this year than they were last year, but this is the best and deepest the SEC has ever been. So the problem isn't Matt McMahon. The problem is LSU et al. Is going to have to decide if they want to be great in basketball. Because if you do, then you're going to have to start committing more resources in the transfer portal to be able to get players here that are capable of competing. Matt McMahon's a good coach. Like, that's undeniable. He's a likable guy. He's a good X's and O's coach. I can't tell you that there's anything I've watched in a game that I go, man, what a terrible decision by Matt McMahon. What's he doing there? Not to say he's flawless, but I think Matt McMahon's done quite fine there. You don't dudes. It's 7:45. Robbie, Sam Darnold's a free agent if the Vikings don't re-sign him. Will you like to see him as the next Saints quarterback? It depended on the price. I wouldn't give him $40 million a year and make him my franchise quarterback. Look beyond the results. Jeff, good morning. Travis, still involved with GameCoin? Yeah, man, absolutely am. And we actually have it linked. You'll see under here, On Fire Athletes, as the platform is launched, man. So y'all check it out, onfireathletes.com. It's phenomenal. It's everything that I thought would be, maybe even more. It's so awesome to see it come to life. So if you know a young person who plays sports, would love their own digital trading card, tell them to check out onfireathletes.com. You're already seeing a lot of high school athletes. I'll tell you, the first, I think I have the first ever card, because there's some that come with an AR physical version. Devin Kitchen from Denham Springs. This is the first. I bought the first ever. This is number 3 of 25 in his series, but I was the first one ever to buy it. I mean, like, he may have number 1 or something like that, but I was the first one ever to use the platform and buy a card. So that's the first one ever. So check it out, onfireathletes.com. Lisa Strain, good morning. Hey, Rebecca Claire, good morning. Hope you and your family are doing awesome. Everyone enjoyed today's Locked On. Laughed hard when you said we are losing our long snapper. You're losing Slade Roy. I mean, Slade Roy's been your long snapper for 3 years, man. And he's been really, really good for 3 years. So that is the thing. Like, you lost your whole, like, when Jay Bramblett was out of eligibility, you lost, not only did you lose your punter, you lost your holder. And nobody ever thinks of it because we just think kicker, but it's snap, hold, placement, kick. That's a whole sequence that has to go. And Brian Kelly got on Peyton Todd a few times this year about holds, or the whole process, the timing of the whole thing. Like, all that matters. So don't laugh at it, dude. It does matter. All right, I got to go. Locked on LSU is live, so please check it out, podcast or YouTube, Locked on LSU, and AFR3. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. All our sponsors.